Patrick Marley, Milwaukee Journal SentinelRepublican U.S. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin has tested positive for COVID-19, his office announced Saturday. Johnson disclosed his diagnosis a day after speaking to the Ozaukee County Republican Party Oktoberfest dinner at the River Club of Mequon on Friday night. Republican U.S. Representative Grothman of Glenbeulah was there and said Johnson did not wear a mask while speaking to the crowd but that he thought the senator wore a face covering for most of the time while at the event. Grothman said that during the speech, Johnson apologized to others for staying so distant from them. He said, "I want to be especially careful I don't get this because of the important vote with the judge," Grothman recalled, a reference to GOP senators' plans to push through the nomination of Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the U.S. Supreme Court. Grothman said Johnson was on the west side of the room and I was on the east side of the room. And we never got close to each other. While speaking to the Journal Sentinel, Grothman said he was buying a brat at a church event and gave no indication that he planned to isolate himself. Johnson is the third Republican U.S. Senator to test positive for the novel coronavirus within the last 24 hours. Mike Lee of Utah and Thom Tillis of North Carolina also announced positive tests on Friday. It is believed that Johnson had contact with either Lee or Tillis, although his office would not offer confirmation. Johnson, who had been in an earlier quarantine, returned to Oshkosh Thursday afternoon and underwent a test Friday. Johnson will be in isolation at his home for the next 2 weeks. According to a statement from Johnson spokesman Ben Voelkel, the senator was exposed to someone who tested positive for COVID-19 on September 14. He stayed in quarantine for 14 days without developing symptoms and tested negative twice during that time. He returned to Washington on September 29 and shortly after was exposed to an individual who has since tested positive. The spokesman said, after learning of this exposure, the senator was tested yesterday, Friday afternoon. This test came back positive. Senator Johnson feels healthy and is not experiencing symptoms. He will remain isolated until given the all-clear by his doctor. Voelkel said most of the senator's Washington staff members had been working remotely. The office will go all virtual for the immediate future, Voelkel said. Johnson did not attend the September 26 White House ceremony announcing the nomination of Barrett to the U.S. Supreme Court, an event that has drawn attention as a potential source of an outbreak in Washington. D.C. Lee and Tillis were among several prominent people, including President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, who attended the Rose Garden ceremony and have since tested positive for the coronavirus.